Hello, welcome to my stream. It's the late night talks with romantic developer, and today we have 140 stream series. So let's start. Normally, let me just check the sound. Okay, the sound is here. Yesterday I talked 15 minutes at the beginning of the stream without the sound because I forgot to switch on my microphone. And because I was alone in the stream, as like sometimes I haven't noticed that until like 15 minutes, mostly 15 minutes. So basically I restarted my stream. Not restarted, I say, okay, now let's start the stream. But I already, so what I did, let's go to that romantic developer here. It's my yesterday stream. Right now, it started from the moment where I start talking. Okay, I couldn't hear because I connected my headphones. But you see, it started, but I generated the description and everything yesterday. And it says that 1342 stream restart and sound issues. So now we should update that. And to do that, we can use our tool. We just go here and say update YouTube. So we just execute our program and say full process with update YouTube. And yeah, here, here, here. My image for some reason is mirrored, so I need to fix that because yeah, to show on that screen I need to show like this. Okay, and execute it. It will start to execute, and we could yeah, we download into the new folder. Why? Because it's now has different name and we have our folders by name. Maybe we need to do folders by ID, but it would be not so simple to identify which folder we are looking for. Maybe looking for by ID, and if ID is okay, we could talk of course about it. But yeah, while we start in our stream, I've started executing of our tool, which basically download the stream locally. It will transcribe the stream, it will improve the transcription, it will execute our configuration, which is generic, and generate generic description, generic title, generic video chapters, generic keywords, and we'll go and update all of those things at YouTube after that. So once it's finished, we will see different title here, different description, and different keywords as well. It's not visible here, but it would be reflected. Keywords is not super important because they used as a last resort to find something in YouTube. But yeah, it's good to have them up to date because YouTube also can use some AI tools to compare keywords with what you're talking in the video and say, okay, it's good looking or not good looking. And if you put proper keywords, proper title, proper description, which actually in accordance with what you have in video, it will probably will not block your video from viewing, and it will recommend it, and so on and so on. Of course, recommendation is built on completely different mechanism, but we are doing all of those not to block that recommendations normally. So right now, as you see, we are yes, we are converting to OGG. we convert into OGG, which has confirmed proven small size of the file, especially if you convert for 12 kilobits per second. It means we could send to Whisper, not local, but to Whisper to API as part of OpenAI SDK, streams up to 5 or 6 hours long easily. Okay. Normally we start with some reflections. We will start with reflections just in a bit. We just talked about what we will do today and maybe in future while we executing those program. So it's basically send chunk to Whisper API. It's only one chunk, so it's only one file, and we are waiting until it will return some results. So let's remember where we are with Python script. We have our nice slides here, and oh really, okay, so it's Python script upgrades, and we already implemented execution OpenAI prompt to fix improve transcript, and we doing that by dividing transcript into smaller chunks, and also we support multiple way of configuring Whisper improve transcript as variable which contain path to the file, or as variable containing prompt itself. If there are no variable, we will not do improving transcript at all. So after improving transcript, we also work around some issues with rate limit. So we use some exponential strategy of retrying. So each time we wait longer and longer and do up to 6 retries, which normally helping us resolve the issue because we are doing each file as a single thread, so it's fine. Then we have title, description, keywords, video sections, etc., and we update in YouTube. What has left? We try to use multiple languages with default prompts in English, and it works not nice. If you don't specify Whisper language, it will try to translate instead of transcribe. If we try to not specify language in our prompts, and even if it would be nice prompt, but we will ask in English, it have some unpredicted results, it could return us result in English. So maybe we could mark it, I don't know, some black, violet, and say it's not so interesting, not so working. And the few things left, it would be update YouTube video with proper transcript, and Azure OpenAI, using Azure OpenAI instead of OpenAI SDK, which could be used. Then we will work on other things, and other things include, let's see, what we want. Actually, current process, we want to use local Whisper, and we will work on some features for it equality and free LLM models for prompts. I already tried some solution, olama.com or .ai. It's very simple to install, very simple to use. Yeah, let's see. While we're talking, it's already transcribed our OGG file and return some transcript. Sometimes it returns something with no words. It could be for words, it could be for segments. I don't very sure where it is, but normally we verified multiple times. It's basically looks good. So we just keep that when we build proper SRT transcript. Then we divide it into 3 chunks. It means that we have more than 350, 350, and 350, more than 150 sections in subtitles. No, it means that we have more than 700 sections in subtitle, not if we have more than 1050, we would have 4 chunks. Right now we divide into chunks using 350 segments as our configuration for division, but we also tried some tokenizer library to divide transcript based on token usage, and maybe it's even better. Of course it's better, but we need to implement it and test. Okay, so while it's doing, let's return here. So we could use free version, because right now we use an OpenAI SDK. It's not costly, it just costs few cents. It can cost up to maybe $1 per video, but for very long video where we need to do a lot of execution of OpenAI prompts, not actually that much. And we're using not the cheapest model. We used GPT-4o, not 4o mini, just 4o, and of course 4o mini or other models could be even cheaper. So, but we will look into something for free version of models, both LLM and Whisper, and then we will work with this plugin for Adobe Premiere, which will help create a shorts based on ideas, or just shorter video, not always shorts as is. So shorts with some we already could split shorts into proper chunks of videos, but we still want to add some captions with highlight, and it's easy to do because we have word level SRT transcript from Whisper. Okay, it's our plans for very near future. Let's see how far we're from executing. Okay, we are still waiting for response for the first part of our transcript. We're not sending all the parts in parallel because we're just afraid to have some limits in rate limits. So that's why we're doing one by one. But again, we are doing it for a very big stream. Just a reminding, it's a stream for mostly 2 hours, 1 hour 41 minutes, so it's mostly 100 minutes, more than 100 minutes. And of course, transcribe everything, create proper video sections, description, keywords, prompt, titles, etc. It's all takes some time. Actually, it's all not taking much time, just SRT processing taking time here. But we decided to improve it in that case. Okay, is it still alive? Hello? Because it's started more than 5 minutes ago, it really looks long. Okay, it's look long, but it's fine. So I think once I have some progress, I will switch to that screen. We could switch back for some personal reflections. And today I have some situation I want to share with you, because we have personal reflection part where I'm sharing some of my life wisdom with you. It's like part of mostly every stream. So And today I want to provide some feedback to my son, and instead of doing it properly, like saying what I like, what I don't like, why it's important, I have that in my mind, like several times I had that conversation in my mind. But in reality, I just starting like showing very parodically what he did, which I don't like. And it wasn't not good style, not high style, not gentle style. It's not something I really like to do. And I think, okay, I'm still, no, not fully on the path of peace and diplomacy and wisdom, but also choose some form of, let's say, aggression here. It's not immediate aggression, but it was joking, and of course that wouldn't explain another person um, where he was not right. Why? Because when you're emotionally included into something, you stop analyzing and thinking in cool mind, and it's of course not helping you to improve, not helping you to see the situation through, analyze it, and so on. So yeah, it was a lesson which I haven't passed today, but then I think about that and I feel not very good about it. And yeah, we have a conversation, and I just ask for forgiveness that I act not wisdomly, and provided my feedback in completely different way, very calm, and just explaining why different behavior could be better and how everyone could benefit from it. And my son, first of all, of course. So I think it helped a lot, but it's show how are we not prepared for a beautiful word of wisdom, of love, and a future where people choose peace over war and aggression. Of course, it's something most of us need to work and never be relaxed about that at all. So yeah, it was part of my today's reflection, and of course I wish you to choose better than me, like to choose wisdom, to choose acceptance, to choose warmth, love, and kindness over any other form of providing your thoughts, even if they're very good, if you have good intentions, but also just use the proper tools for those good intentions. Okay, I think something is happening here because we sent something to improve transcript for the folder, and we sent some chunk, and as you see we sent on 13 minutes, but now we have 23 minutes and we still retrying it. And I don't think we have such a big time difference. Yeah, we have some random time, but it looks like really big. Let me quickly see if I don't have any billing issues here. So usage, romantic developer, and in December we did a lot of queries already, especially yesterday. Yeah, and most of the costs come to the Whisper, where we used it to process multiple, like several hours, multiple hours of operations. So we spent something. It's still under the limit. And today we are very low on tokens yet. So basically it should be good. but for some reason, yeah, it's taking some time today. Hopefully it would be resolved quickly, because again, when we're using some services, we dependent on not only ourselves but also how others using them. I am on very basic plan, so it's mean I included in the quota with others, so of course I couldn't expect very dedicated support or time in my cases. The bigger company, the bigger you spend, the more higher tier you have somewhere, the better support, the better timing you have on executing some responses. Maybe it's some my fault, of course, but I don't be too fast in making the decision. While it's doing that, let's ask ChatGPT mini, not mini. Let's just ask normal. We have everything for that. Hello. For O. Okay. I have the code which executes OpenAI SDK. For executing ChatGPT completion, and executing whisper model for transcribing. How complex to make my code to support Azure OpenAI SDK as well. I'm not sure if it's proper wording, but so requires specifying a deployment name and unique endpoint URL. Authentication, use API keys specific to its services, which needs to be provided in the headers. Model deployment names. So you reference them by using deployment names rather than model names directly. Approach to support both SDK. So let's see. Configuration updates. Let's set settings to a configuration to toggle between OpenAI and Azure OpenAI. So let's go and add those. Let's see. It's still sending the first part. Okay, it would be our config. Oh, we need that. And we have that in Azure OpenAI endpoint. Okay. Also, most probably when we read it from here, okay, it should be there as well. Get an Azure OpenAI endpoint, use Azure OpenAI. Okay. Abstract API calls. To use abstraction layer for making API calls, for example, self-use Azure. Okay. OpenAI API key. It looks complex. Are there any simpler way of doing that? Especially if I am using the latest OpenAI Python library, and what I am using let's use process prompt. OpenAI. And we included search web right now just to be better installed, better prepared for what we. Oh, really? So something going wrong right now. Normally it executes very fast. Not very fast, but acceptable fast. And right now it's not doing great. Okay, upgrade. It's still OpenAI key, Azure, OpenAI deployment name, okay. So anyways, they use IE client. And when they do chat completion, self-client chat completion create model, deployment name and model messages. Okay, let's see the sources. OpenAI Python. Usage. Open API key. Bulk async usage. Okay. Streaming responses. Okay. Model level client. Model level. Installing client instead of relying on the global client. We also expose a global client instance that accessible to similar fashion to version prior version 1. Interesting. Okay, it's all the. So I don't see actually using any Azure here. Microsoft OpenAI. Okay, to use this library with Azure OpenAI, use Azure OpenAI class instead of OpenAI class. I see. So basically, client would be Azure OpenAI instead of OpenAI, and model would be deployment name rather than model. Authentication. So it's the changes. Yeah, very similar to what we've seen in the chat response. Let's see chat response once again. Our thing is here, init, deployment client, Azure OpenAI AI, init, create chat completion, quarks, okay, use Azure, Azure. You can just send or configuration, correct? Okay, so we need to implement that to support both models, both way of executing that thing. So yeah, makes sense. Let's see very quickly that official link. So OpenAI key, but here we need to with API key. I think API key is fine in our case. Keyword argument for model. Okay. In OpenAI it would be GPT-4, but here it would be deployment name. Azure OpenAI embedding multiple input support. Okay, it's not related to us yet. So yeah, we need to go with that specific class A client. It should be fine. So, you know what? Let's just finish that and try do it once again. We copy that Python. We do that here. And we want really to stop that from executing like that. It shouldn't download it. Because it should be already downloaded. No. But we still sending chunk to Whisper API. Okay, let's try this way. Also, I use some Llama. So let me try to stop that Llama service. Maybe it's also doing some Llama PS. No running models. Okay. That should be fine. So we should be on the good standing my stream without dropping frames. So okay, while we doing that, let's go and copy what we have here. So help me create AI client which will take in constructor config params. Also help me implement required changes config. My current config is okay. Let's see what it will reply us, because for something I really don't want to do a lot of work. So it says use Azure OpenAI endpoint, use Azure OpenAI. So we took false and it would be default value. Let's copy that. Logger info. Oh, inform. Using Azure if else OpenAI SDK. If use Azure OpenAI. Oh, we don't need that parentness logger. Let's just copy that. And it will be else. Yeah, it's proper syntax. Azure OpenAI key loaded. It would be Azure OpenAI key. No. Okay. Default model, max token. Okay. Temperature top P. Let's use it. Logger. Oh, it's having the similar login. User Azure if Azure, else no. Okay. If you Azure OpenAI, let's add those login here as well. Okay. Config. So we don't read options from LLM config in each case. Copy config prompts folder. Okay, we read it, but we just say key value. So if we have the same key like this, we will overwrite it, which is fine. Transcribe audio. Audio file pass, I see. But okay, we open that file and just send return response JSON, return transcribe. I am using the latest version of OpenAI library, and I am using statements like or, and for whisper it will be transcriber, and for transcriber we will see it would be transcriptions create. Can you update AI client to most recent? Will it understand what I mean? Okay, all of those we already have. Oh, actually config is zsync. I miss that. So let's copy actual config. So instead of OpenAI key, We will insert OpenAI API key. Use Azure OpenAI, Azure, so it would be a keys. And let's see if how we do chat completion. It's not, I mean, it's fake. I don't want to write it myself, but do we need? Please follow guidelines from to create a client. Will it do that? Okay. It's all we know. Still use that thing. Where it took it? Where it took it? Okay. Let's copy him. But it's not what we actually want. Probably AI client. So AI client. That's in his fine. Create chat completion here. It's not fine. And let's see. We need to do that like that. Client completion create. No. So let's see what we have here. We transform that OGG. We received some empty content again. We save transcript. We try to into 3 chunks and we send for improvement. It took up to 10 minutes for some reason for improvement. We backed up everything. We saved improved transcript. And then we start processing prompts. And it's received too many requests. 429. Other keywords was preserved. Title was preserved. Better chapter was preserved. And description prompt was preserved. We updated everything. And we just recently updated video on this new title. Let's check that. It took a long time for us actually. It took a long time, but we restarted the whole process. So let's refresh and see the changes. For some reason we don't have titles. No, we have titles. Introduction, stream challenges, and we have like 141 and 37. So all titles looks good. Transcript. Transcript is generated by Google. Hello. Okay. Okay. Gives from a Chinese site. Oh, I chose that thing. It's nice thing. It's even pretty visible. Okay. So it's updated. Okay, that of course not good. I mean, let's see transcript which we generated. It should be saved somewhere in the videos, and it would be Python scripts peaceful, probably that one. And let's see transcript SRT, and let's see the very 141.10 141.10 stream. Thank you and see you later. I will weigh my hand and now wait on my phone till I see that hand, and I will stop the stream. Goodbye. And let's see how we transcribe that here. I will wave my hand now and wait on my phone till I see that hand, and I will stop the stream. Goodbye, you. Okay, that is better. And let's see original SRT. Is it better still? I will buy my hand now. Okay, improved transcription of course is better. You see it's very simple to see. Okay, so now we still working on my where we are. Yeah, we are here. We're still working on our you know, it's never tried to return proper thing here. So most probably we need to look here and use that thing. Go here, let's close everything we know. Okay, and do something like that. OpenAI, and we call it self client, and in that way we will use client like that. From OpenAI import Azure, OpenAI. Okay, it's OpenAI, and here we need to use something like that. Self client equals okay. API key, it would be self API key. API version API version. And Azure endpoint, it would be self endpoint. Okay. Azure OpenAI API version. And Azure API version would be somewhere here. Endpoint key deployment name. Okay. Okay. So AI client here, we define self client. Config view Azure OpenAI. Okay. With chat completion. Now we need to do this next thing. Completion. It would be like that. No. That is probably about token provider. Okay, yeah, not a big deal. And let's see Microsoft. Models available, request access, okay. Comparing. In worst case would be return self client. The only thing here, get model, default model. So we took response format on none with no response format. And here it would be exactly the same, except it would be deployment name, and it would be in other case deployment name. Deployment messages. And here it will be model and default model. Create chat completion. Transcribe audio. Let's see what would be transcriber. Transcriber. And to transcribe audio, we need to transcribe chunk. Okay. It would be Z parameters, filtered whisper config. Audio file. Let's just say return self-client audio transcription create file, audio file, model whisper, filtered whisper. Works. And do we have anything else here? Let's see GTP. Maybe we could see also something about like whisper. Okay. It's actually batch transcription using whisper model. Do we have any Python? And whisper model, Azure AI speech models, OpenAI quick start, and we want that Python quick start setup, pam pam pam, Python environment, create Python, client audio, transcribe, create, deployment ID. return self client create whisper config self whisper config equal whisper config. Oh, we will not validate the whisper config params, but here we say that model we should have self whisper config, and it would be deployment name. So whisper config also could have a deployment. Let's see. It's config, it's whisper config. Deployment we don't have. Whisper deployment as and it would be like no, like other, like all, everything, but the only change that we will have that as deployment name. Deployment name. Okay, so whisper config deployment name. Okay, looks like we mostly finished, except we just created one file, AI client py, but we never tested. So also, because now we will do that on that level, maybe we could remove all of that from here, dependency, go to AI client. We don't need requests. We don't need, do we need OpenAI at all? And for tenancy, we're doing something like that. Retry. Okay. And AI client, we will do it for both of our methods. Retry here and retry here. I think it looks good. So in prompt processor, now we just go and say not import OpenAI from AI client, import AI client. Here client, we will say AI client, and it will take as parameters config, self config, self, and for whisper config it would be null, basically, because we don't need it here. Okay, And the place where we actually use client, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Let's look once again on our client. We have that client create chat completion, response, self client create chat completion, and now it would be model messages temperature marks tokens response. It would be messages. And that is self config, actually max token, self max token. So we always can try even here with some default values. Oh, max tokens. And here would be just temperature as float, top P as a float, and token as int. Something we always require. And we could actually took it and replace here as well. Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm afraid we broke all of those things right now. But let's try. So main processor already saved transcriber room. Let's go to transcriber room. I'm sorry. Oh, room. Okay. AI client. AI client would be here. Self config. Self whisper config. And here we will do exactly as in prompt processor. And come on. We haven't used client here. Yeah. And we don't need that after all. Okay, and now if you go to our transcriber Python, we can use the same thing, but in that case we don't need specify even response format. And here self-client, and in that way we need write like transcribe audio response self-client transcribe. And audio file equals audio file and it would be filtered whisper config. Okay, sounds scary, correct? What we can do, maybe we could generate on something really small. You know what, let's go on YouTube and let's search for short story. Okay, the dog and his bone looks good. Okay, let's copy him. Okay, finger crossed or what? Let's remove update YouTube, we don't need that. Let's remove the previous link, YouTube. So initial steps. Okay. So loading, improve certain content from file, loading configuration, open API key load that we are using OpenAI SDK, okay? And transcriber config, whisper config. OpenAI is not defined. Did you mean OpenAI? AI client, API key. Where is it? Where is our boy? Endpoint API key. And let's say version. Okay. Anything else? Looks like no. Let's try once again. So, initialization passed successfully. Now we just downloading that file, and then we can reuse those files in case we need to do something else. So right now we are sending batch request. And why it's batch request? Most probably we will not know. Oh, I think it's vice versa. Because in that case, we just want to use deployment name, and in that name we have model name already known, Whisper1. So let's try once again for full process. We will not download it once again. Why? Because it's already downloaded. So it will understand that. Okay. Okay. And OGG file also we don't want to convert. And we send in chunk to Whisper API now. And now, at least with OpenAI SDK, it should work. And let's see if process prompt will work. And process prompt is chat completion. If it did everything fine, at least for OpenAI SDK. Okay. Okay. Too many requests. And we save title and description. Let's see. It would be the dog and his bone. Let's see. Okay, file details, it's fine. Let's see title. The dog and his reflection. A lesson in greed and contentment. Contentment. Oh. Let's see transcript. The dog and his bone, a version of the tale by the fablecottage.com. Nice. And original? I don't think it's a big change. Keywords. Okay. Decision making and description. Yeah, a lot of description. Probably we need to simplify generic prompt. What do you think? Okay. Looks good. So what else do we have here? So looks like it's working. The only thing we need to test is to let's copy and let's paste and let's call it let's call it Uker test1. Let's create new file here, which we will call git ignore. And let's ignore everything in that folder. So with that, we just will have everything else here. Okay, and in git ignore, let's start syncing. So we need in LLM config and provide the next details. So let's see config py. We just need say open use OpenAI. Let's say true. True. Really? Azure OpenAI endpoint, Azure OpenAI key. Now we will save it into our local env Azure deployment name. And Azure OpenAI version. Okay. And in Whisper config, we just need to read the deployment name in Whisper config. Deployment name. Okay. So let me think for a second if I can open azure.com. Okay. I'm slightly not too fast. So let me switch and I'll sync once again. So we need in Azure create deployment where we will have all the models and everything. Give me some time. I completely forgot how to do that. I'm like a fish in the ocean, which used to be in some small glass tank. So what are we trying to do? We are trying to prove that right now our code could execute easily on Azure OpenAI SDK and on OpenAI SDK. So if we will use basically different platform, OpenAI.com or Microsoft Azure Cloud, we could use our code without big changes at all. Okay. and I'm just looking so probably let me switch. I right now deploying a model which is ChatGPT. I find some of my deployments already in some resource, which maybe it's not the best resource, but it's something I used before probably. So I need to spend some time to refresh my knowledge on this in Azure, because we did mostly everything in OpenAI SDK. So we deploying ChatGPT 4. Oh no, is it ChatGPT 4? Deploy model. I mean for all. Really, confirm. Let's customize its version. Maybe it's good. Let's do something like 90. Deploy. Okay, and we have our endpoint. And let's go here in our local env and copy endpoint, and let's go to config and refresh our knowledge. So OpenAI endpoint would be our local env would be something like that, equals I think endpoint would be to that moment. Version Open API Azure API version. It would be something like that. And Azure deployment name. Azure deployment name. Yes. Actually, it's something we could use in our file. So let's go to Ukur test, LLM config. Okay. Let's go once again here. It would be our endpoint. It would be our version. Deployment name, it would be the same as the model. And key, we just copy, and I will put into the local env Azure Open API key. It's short, that's why I'm not going to share it with you. API key, go to local equals. Okay, and now whisper config, that's transition. We just go for not for or, but for whisper. Maybe we could remove the turbo. Okay, Western whisper it would be the same OpenAI API version. It's different API version. Yeah, it's challenging. It's challenging. So maybe 06. So let's see, LLM config 8.1 preview and 06, and deployment name would be that's it, which is deployment name. Do we have any help? Tutorial, content filter, help? Metrics, no metrics. Okay. And for GPT-4, it could be completion, yeah. And if we will don't have deployments, come on. GPT-4, and do we have some view code? It would be Python, key authentication, image pass, message payload, max token, endpoint. Okay, endpoint is full pass. No, endpoint is that. So it's okay. Let's try one by one. So ZSynth we'll use for API version Z1, Azure API, OpenAI API version. So maybe in that case, if you use Azure, we need self whisper client plus Azure OpenAI API key plus self API key version equals self whisper config get so something like that. Um, I wrote in Python not much. So whisper client equals client, and just in whisper transcribe audio. If you use, okay, we could actually use here and remove that completely. We don't need that. So in that particular case, we will use whisper client. Yeah, something like that. Okay. So let's try transcribe, and let's find that folder. It would be folder with the doc. It would be the dog and his bone. Copy pass. But oh, Python main config Okay, test one. Config folder. Maybe we could use something like config folder. Okay. Transcribe and Control V. What we will do, here in config, because now we don't have any idea if we use Azure OpenAI or not. Probably we can go here to our deployments and see metrics, but it's not refreshed right away. Oh, request per minute, November 27, November 25. It's not recently. Maybe, you know, in AI client, let's put here like logger, don't have logger. Come on, come on. And we'll say here logger inform successfully initialized Azure client from endpoint and self endpoint. And here it will be successfully initialized OpenAI client. Okay. Let's do the same test once again. So, successfully initialized OpenAI client. No. OpenAI. Use Azure. Use Azure OpenAI config. LLM config. Occur test 1. What it could be, let's say true, like big one. Occur test 1. We have lack of OpenAI client still. So let's try to add more things in config. Again, it's become quite big, but okay. Worker info loading config from config folder. Run config, whisper config, prompts. Oh, should we have loading config? Okay. It means we didn't load config from config folder. Maybe we need to use configuration. Result config folder, config folder, config folder. Result path. OS path is a best name file. Oh, we need like configuration of this one. Okay. No. Configuration. I see. We need to provide maybe some error in that case, I believe. Because, yeah. Okay, loading config from Azure client from endpoint. Okay. Prompt processor. Okay. In that case, in AI client, if whisper config something like that. And now we see that we post transcription to Azure, and we receive transcript SRT in our the doc transcript SRT. So let's remove all the transcripts once again. Let's execute it once again. Too many requests, really? In 23 seconds, it's a lot. But let's remove everything, including raw response and title. Okay, and what is about now? Now is fine. So we receive transcript, this time with all big letters. Okay, and now we want to improve SRT. Why we send in initialized 2 times client from endpoints? Oh, maybe because we do it in main. I see. And now let's just use not improve SRT but process prompts. And it says model name is fine, GPT for all. Let's look at how it could execute successfully anytime. How it could improve. Sending for improvement. GPT-4 chat completion. Too many requests. Model error. Let's see for our model for all. Rate limit, tokens per minute, request per minute, model name, edit. It's transcription, but we never preserve any of the other responses. It writes model error. Twenty 24 08 1. Let's see. So let's say, I don't know, it's probably not with that 2020 default P2 deployment name. Token count just 2000. Request per minute 20. Okay, let's try to see what can cause a model error. GPT-4o. And I mean, LLM config GPT-4o deployment name looks good. API version, details, API version, preview, version, preview, open in playground, view code, key authentication. Why it's saying 0215 preview? No, let's try that version. Max token 16,000. Maybe just let's take 8,000. Let's try once again. Improve SRT. Post model error. Why I could see when executing Azure OpenAI SDK. Interesting. Let's see what is the big difference between okay. So we have two prompts, one in transcriber, which completed successfully, get, and it's in improved transcription file, and we have create chat completion. Yes, and create chat completion we use in prompt processing here. Response format. And response format is probably false. Okay, let's just, for a second. And let's go here once again. Version 20. GPT. Once again, let's see deployments. Let's just try this code version. And we have the configuration in here. Just have that version. Let's return it to 16, model GPT-4o, and Azure deployment name GPT-4o. And let's see if without response format is working fine. Okay. That API version is not working fine, so probably we still need to add preview. So let's try this previous model version. Still resource not found. Preview. Resource. Here is our resource, GPT-4o. Okay, not 8.6, but 8.0. Oh, come on, so many differences. Really? Okay, Azure is slightly more. You saw it yourself, yes. Still model error. OpenAI, Azure, OpenAI.com, OpenAI deployments. Let's just look at it here once again. OpenAI deployments. OpenAI deployments, GPT-4o, GPT-4o, chat completions, chat completions API version 2024-08-01 preview. I don't know. Everything looks pretty proper. Model catalog. GPT-4o. Model ID. Preview. 16 output as tokens. Okay. Please proceed with caution. Model. Preview. Maybe we can use, one of our GPT-4 deployment. Let's just test it. So that would be GPT-4, and it would be the same 0801 preview. Rate limit should be completely sufficient for us. It has model version turbo, but here we don't have that API version. Okay, let's just save it and try to execute. Okay, it sends a request and it still receives model error. Okay, let's see why we could receive model error. We ask that question here. Incorrect deployment name. And confirm your deployment's name. Update your code, deployment name. API version. Okay. Model not deployed or unsupported. Okay, it looks like supported. Missing and correct request parameter. Messages max token should be fine. Incorrect authentication. OpenAI API key, for example. Endpoint format. Looks good. Login, verify deployment name, model, API version, enable detailed login. Example of correct Azure OpenAI request. Response post. Common resolutions. Double check the deployment name. Ensure the API version is correct. So I think let's review what we have here in that sample our approach to use that model like Whisper config. By the way, Whisper looks like it's working fine. Even for some reason, even improving the text worked. It's used GPT-4o. It used that from here, but it used it and it was fine. Use Azure OpenAI true. So not sure, but yeah, let's try to test it tomorrow. As of now, I think we are more than out of time, and as usual, let me wish you a great time of the day. Yeah, I did my stream pretty long today, but I've mostly finished that thing is supporting both OpenAI and Azure OpenAI. I think it should be simple thing actually, but and I know there are some libraries which could support multiple models, not even OpenAI and Azure OpenAI, but even some Llama, some others. So they just use to everything to support. You could not Llama. Llama is open source. I mean, you could add multiple providers of your OpenAI models, and it will support executing all of them. But yeah, it's something we need to look into. Right now, even with very simple implementation, we still see some issues. Probably we could start from scratch, or like not from scratch, but from testing it in some notebook tomorrow and do small step by small step to resolve it. Okay, I wish you a great day. I wish you to have wisdom, kind heart, and create coziness around yourself, in your family, with your loved ones, and of course inside you, in your heart, and give others joy, kindness, and love. And of course, you will receive a lot of lessons every day, like me, and I wish you good luck passing the lessons with excellent mark. Even if you don't pass the lesson, just do homework in our terminology. Okay, I'm waving you, and once I see I'm waving you on my phone, I stop the stream. So goodbye, see you.